Good evening, I'm Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Tens of millions defrauded through a fake cooperative in Siraha. Cases to be filed under money laundering against those abusing funds of cooperatives to invest in private companies. Policy level dilemma for technical education at the school level. Government task force recommends technical education after secondary education examination. Community schools share disagreement. Israeli military says it hit around 75 Hezbollah targets in southern Lebanon and the Bekaa region overnight. Israel foreign minister says there will be no ceasefire in the north. And Walling municipality and Koshi province finished among the top 5 of the Anfa Women's League, progressed to the next round of the tournament. Sudhir Pasim exit from the first round after conceding 69 goals. An unregistered cooperative and one that did not renew its registration in Siraha's Kalyanpur have been found embezzling millions of depositors' money. Victims of the Maa Janaki Global Saving and Credit Cooperative and Maa Janaki Agro Cooperative, most of whom are illiterate and come from poor backgrounds, have felt swindled.
Rajaram sub-money transfer hangs in front of a house in Kalyanpur municipality. But within the building operates 2 cooperatives illegally. One was never registered and the other never renewed their registration. The Maa Janaki Global Saving and Credit Cooperative and Maa Janaki Agro Cooperative has swindled hundreds of their depositors. The victims have been making rounds of the building since 2 years, hoping to get their hard-earned money returned.
कोनो समस्या पड़ा तो ओमे सलाह आ समस्या पड़ले देह में दुख भागल गेली ऑपरेशन करवा त गेली मांग हमरा ऑपरेशन करा ढोआ दो त कहल कि हम नहीं देब हम कत से दो अखनु आ त फिर बेटी के समस्या भ गेल बेटी के दुख हो गेली मांग बोलो अब छेला बहाना कर बोलो हम नहीं जाने छी बोलो ढोआ तुआ
हम सब बेटा कमेली बेटा और कल के धरिए ध दिए बच्चा और के पढ़ेबे लिखेबे घर दुआर बनेबे खेबे गरीब लोग धर गेली हमार कली देते बड़ो बियाह देते सेहो ने दिल 2.5 साल से ढोआ मांगे छी कहीं फना लले चिना लले सेहो ने दी.
The money transfer and the cooperatives were both run by Kalyanpur local Rajaram Shah. The money transfer was established by Shah's father, Biltu, who ran a manpower company some 13 years ago. Shah then began banking services by tying up with Global IME Bank 7 years ago. It has been revealed that Shah had been using depositors' savings himself. After a complaint was filed, Global IME withdrew its collaboration with him around 1.5 years ago. He then registered the Maa Janaki Global Saving and Credit Cooperative and made the locals save their bank money to the cooperative. Most of them were given a passbook of Maa Janaki Agro Cooperative, which was never a registered company.
2.5 साल से मांगे छी त नहीं दे कहीं खेत ललू पथार ललू कल के दुगो फोटो लक आएब ओई चेक पकाई पर चढ़ा देल के 2.5 बरस से देबे नहीं करे हे घर बने वाला जमा केने छली बाल बच्चा के पढ़ वाला जमा केने छलिए आ जाई छी त देबे नहीं करे
बिचाइ सके छ. अब तपाईलाई थाहा छ अब नेपालमा कसैले पैसा दिदैन अनि यसै समस्या यसै गुहार गर्दा गर्दा पनि ओले पैसा दिदैन 2 लाख पनि दिनु मलाई कतार जानु छ. अब घरमा बसेर त्यो पैसा फाइदा छैन अनि गरीब मान्छे नेपालमा कसरी खाउँछ अनि विदेश जानु पर्छ.
Shah has admitted that the second cooperative was fake, but he has claimed that he never brought into operation the fake cooperative. The local police have received numerous complaints regarding the cooperative. However, no action has been taken so far. Victims say the father-son duo of Biltu and Rajaram have taken advantage of their illiteracy and used their money to buy lands in several places. They have demanded for justice.
The Special Parliamentary Probe Committee has recommended for a money laundering case against individuals who illegally used cooperatives' funds to start companies. The committee had probed into 40 cooperatives and concluded that more than 87 billion rupees had been abused.
The Special Parliamentary Probe Committee on Cooperatives fraud case has concluded that operators had transferred depositors' money to private companies and issued loans equivalent to savings. The committee has hence recommended to file money laundering cases against the operators. Shiva Shikhar cooperatives that had branches in 35 districts and run by Kedarnath Sharma had 9,580 million rupees in savings. Despite laws that require the cooperatives to ready 10% of the savings at all time for the depositors, it has been found that Sharma had invested 4,740 million rupees in his own private company. The parliamentary committee concluded that Sharma had himself withdrawn 770 million rupees, leaving the cooperatives with savings of less than 1%. Operators of 11 other cooperatives have been found doing the same. Those of Supreme Cooperative had issued loans of 1,310 million rupees and invested 270 million rupees in their own private companies. The cooperative owed depositors 990 million rupees in interests alone. More than 15 billion rupees of 11 troubled cooperatives have either been invested in private companies, which suggests money laundering, or used by their operators. It may be recalled, Icha Raz Tamang, the chairperson of Civil Cooperative, was slapped 3 years jail sentence with a fine of 1,720 million rupees for illegally using cooperative money on his private business. The case had also dragged his wife, from whom the court ordered a penalty of 1,030 million rupees. Analysts add the cooperative's fraud case also has an angle of organized crime.
A task force regarding improvement in the technical and vocational education has suggested to provide technical education to the students only after their secondary education examination, or the SEE. Saying many had to remain unemployed as the curriculum of technical and vocational education had failed to integrate them with the job market, the task force has also suggested the government to revise the curriculum. However, the community schools currently providing technical education from grade 9 to 12 have shared their disagreement with the recommendation of the task force and instead have said that technical education must be provided from lower level. More than 80,000 students are receiving technical education at 637 community schools where such education is provided from grade 9 to 12. In addition to that, around 900 students are enrolled at the 3-year technical education program of the Council for Technical Education and Vocational Training (CTEVT). While the program under the Ministry of Education is free of cost, CTEVT charges more than 200,000 rupees. Saying the technical education provided by 2 departments of the government lacked uniformity, the task force has recommended for providing technical education only after SEE. Community schools have shared their disagreement with this recommendation. Teachers and students are of the opinion that unemployment could be reduced only if the students are provided with technical education and skills from the school level. Meanwhile, the task force has also recommended to revise the assessment system of technical education. Attraction of students towards technical education can only be increased if quality education is provided while ensuring integration with the job market. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Before we ask today's question, let us take a look at the result from yesterday's poll. Yesterday we asked, what should be done to protect public property? 62% were for A, take actions against encroachers, 15% were for B, ensure efficient regulation, and 23% were for C, active participation of local community. And here is our today's question. Providing technical education from which level would be appropriate? Your options are A, basic level, B, secondary level, and C, after grade 12. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli is to address the 79th General Assembly of the United Nations. In his address, Prime Minister Oli is said to have made preparations to raise issues like Nepal's peace process, climate change, unemployment, and poverty alleviation. Prime Minister Oli, who is in New York to participate in the UN General Assembly, has remained busy with bilateral silent meetings. A meeting between Prime Minister Oli and Chief Advisor of Bangladesh, Mohammad Yunus, was also held recently. Yunus became the head of the interim government of Bangladesh after the change of power there. It is said that the discussion between Oli and Yunus focused on energy and transportation cooperation, tourism, cultural exchange, educational relations, and cooperation in regional and international forums. Likewise, Alice Albright, the Chief Executive Officer of the American Cooperation Project (MCC), also met with Prime Minister Oli. It is now time for a short break, but for more news, to stay with us. The Nepal-India Chamber of Commerce and Industries (NICCI) held its 30th annual general meeting on Wednesday, which coincided with its 30th year of establishment. At a program organized in the capital, NICCI also announced the newly elected executive committee members. In the election held earlier in the day, former Vice President Sunil Kesi was elected the president unopposed. Likewise, 9 members were elected to the executive committee. Since its establishment in 1993, NICCI has been serving as an organization of Nepali industrialists and business persons engaged in economic activities between Nepal and India and Indian joint ventures in Nepal. The annual general meeting was chaired by outgoing President Mrs. Srijana Rana. Chief Guest Minister for Energy, Water Resources and Irrigation Deepak Khadka had inaugurated the event, and Indian Ambassador in Nepal, Navin Srivastav, former Indian Ambassador Manjeeb Singh Puri, CPNML leader Surendra Pandey and former Energy Minister Shakti Basnet were among the dignitaries in attendance. In our public voice segment, we have asked about the features they consider while purchasing mobile phones. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
मेन ब्याट्री पावर कति छ त्यसले अब कति धान्छ कतिको त्यस पछाडी मेमोरी पावरहरु
र्याम क्यापेसिटी अनि मोबाइलको क्वालिटीको लागि अब क्यामेरा हेर्नु पर्यो कति मेगापिक्सल छ
जसको चाहिँ नि ब्याट्री ब्याकअप चाहिँ राम्रो हुनु पर्यो हैन र्याम रोम राम्रो हुनु पर्यो मेन फोकस गर्ने भनेको स्टोरेज र र्याम रोममा नै हो
अहिले हेभी फाइलहरु पनि काम गर्न मिलोस् त्यसैगरी चाहिँ मल्टिमिडिया सिस्टम चाहिँ एकदम राम्रो चलोस् सिनेमेटिक फिचर भएको एउटा मन पर्छ अर्को भनेको प्रोसेसिङ राम्रो हुनु पर्यो र्याम राम्रो हुनु पर्यो
प्रोसेसरले हेर्छन् अचेलका अहिले पहिले खासै हेर्दैन
फिचर पनि हेर्छौं क्यामेरा पनि हेर्छौं ब्याट्री पनि हेर्छौं फोटो क्वालिटी भिडियो क्वालिटी अथवा त्यसको लङ लाइफ
It is now time for the international news. The Israeli military has said it hit around 75 Hezbollah targets in southern Lebanon and the Bekaa region overnight. The statement from the Israeli military came after the United States, United Kingdom and other allies called for a 21-day ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. The local mayor Ali Khassas of Bekaa region said that at least 26 people, mostly women and children, were killed in an Israeli airstrike on a building. 8 others were injured in the strike. Likewise, the Lebanon Health Ministry said that since Monday, more than 550 people had been killed in the Israeli strikes. Since the 8th of October, there has been near daily cross-border fire between Israel and Hezbollah. Hezbollah, backed by Iran, says it is acting in solidarity with Palestinians. Meanwhile, Israel says it aims to remove Hezbollah's threat and return displaced people back to northern Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu left Israel today to address the UN General Assembly. Netanyahu is scheduled to deliver a speech at the General Assembly as well. Before leaving Israel, Netanyahu told the Israeli military to keep fighting with Lebanon in full force. According to international media, Israel Katz, the country's foreign minister, said there will be no ceasefire in the north. Well, more is coming up, but right now it is time for yet another short break.
Sports news.
Koshi Province thrashed Sudur Paschim Province 4-0 to progress to the Super League round of the ANFA Women's League. Now, following the defeat, Sudur Paschim finished the tournament without a single point. A win was mandatory for Koshi today to move to the next round of the tournament. Mamata Raut put Koshi ahead in the 24th minute of the match, while Somiksha Mogar scored twice in 12 minutes in the second half before Kushma Rai found the back of the net in the 85th minute to seal Koshi's 4-0 win. Sudur Paschim conceded a mammoth 69 goals while scoring only 3 times throughout the tournament. In another match played today, Walling Municipality secured a 2-1 win over Chandrapur, and they also entered the Super League stage of the tournament. 2 matches of the tournament are slated for tomorrow. Armed Police Force take on Bagmati Youth Club before Trivan Army play Karnali Province. That is all for the moment. Up next is the news in Nepali. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye and good night.